I used to work with kids with autism, and I really enjoyed this one student in particular who was nonverbal. He would feel at peace the most, like watching rain fall down the window. And I would see like the rest of the class basically like feeling very chaotic, and I'd see him just like in his zone, in his peace that way. And I started to appreciate him more. It's okay to take it easy and, you know what I mean, move at your own pace. I think there's a lot of beauty in that. In fourth grade, I was really introverted and observant, extremely observant. The teacher assigned us to draw things that make us who we are. And then when I saw all of the other students work together, honestly, like the other students looked like they were just struggling, throwing together pieces and lines, and I would draw really specific things. As a kid, I felt like, oh my God, I have a little superpower, and what do I do with it? I had inclinations to go to art school to become an artist, but then I realized I have no idea how to make a career out of that, so I transferred to a psychology program at UConn. After college, I was pretty broke. I spent some time traveling, and in order to stay somewhere in life, I would barter to basically paint something for them. So in the Philippines, I did a mural of hibiscus flowers in order to get surf lessons, for example. That was a really informal wall, so I was on like really bootleg, like scaffolding that is probably like a table and like a couple chairs or something, kind of risking my life for this mural. Then I went to Mexico for a little bit. I had a friend that was moving around a lot, doing projects with underdeveloped communities. And I asked her like if she knows anyone in that area who might be interested in a mural. And that's when I did one of my favorite pieces. I painted La Curandera, a Mexican healer and midwife. I consider it like my first real mural. I felt like I was getting to know the people that I was around. I got to capture their story and learn a lot more about them. So it was very rural. I would get this paint and literally take broken dishes that they had around the house to mix the paint on and everything. It was just me like in someone's property, like in the Mayan area of Mexico. So it felt really pure, really beautiful. So I made the pregnant woman like extremely pregnant because the people that lived there, she was telling me about her experience having twins and having to move them around, and like her actual, la curandera who she went to, la partera, she went to like manipulate the babies that way. And she said it was really painful. I came back from Mexico feeling so confident. It feels like a fresh start because I didn't have a job or anything. So I had applied for this art exhibition that was hosted in Hartford. It was really because my mom just texted me one day and she's like, can you just do this for me? Like, just go apply. Like, I saw it on the news. And I was like, okay, sure. Like, why not? At the end of everything, I basically found out that I won first place of the whole show. Later on, they did a call for artists for their huge wall in Hartford. I applied and I pitched myself as hard as I could. Eventually, they told me that they wanted to give me the job.
This powerful image will soon be available and be seen by drivers passing through Hartford on I-91. Artist Micaela Levesque began priming the side of the Community Renewal Building on Market Street in Hartford. It's home to CRT's Women Empowerment Center, and it will soon feature the faces of 5 powerful women of American history. Levesque says she thinks the mural should be done in about 5 weeks.
My Women's Empowerment mural in Hartford has 5 iconic women that I represented. I have Michelle Obama. I use fruits to represent her emphasis on nutrition. Sonia Sotomayor, who was the first Latina to be appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. There's the coqui on the branch to represent her Puerto Rican roots. In the middle, I have Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the second woman appointed to the U.S. Supreme Court. And in front of her, I have a book that's titled write your own story, because that is the main takeaway of my mural. To her right, we have Ella T. Grasso, the first female governor of Connecticut. She has a little Connecticut state pen on her shirt. Last but not least, Kamala Harris, who is holding out a lotus flower. Kamala is translated to lotus flower. It's right next to the baseball stadium's parking lot, so there would be a ton of people walking by on foot, cheering me on. I remember a man came up to me and thought I was painting his ex-wife on the wall because Michelle Obama was coming out looking a little fierce and upset, and he had something to say about that. So I made her look a little more gentle after. I came across a woman that had a bad experience at that building before because it used to be an abortion clinic, and she had just like a traumatizing experience seeing another woman being harassed and dragged out of there. So she was telling me how she felt really healed and so happy to see that it's now being overrun by women empowerment. CRT also works with people that just came out of jail who are seeing art for the first time after they've been locked up for quite a few years. It's so random. It's like a social experiment. You never know who's coming up to you next. And I'll just talk to them like, what do you think? Like, let's talk about art, something that we can all have an opinion on. Since then, I've painted a lot of walls. I've become a full-time muralist with projects all around the state and internationally. I was commissioned by the city of Bridgeport to paint 2 large murals. One was titled United by Coffee, which features coffee farming from all around the world. And I also painted Mediterraneo, a mural that depicts a beautiful seascape of an Italian port. Another favorite of mine is my Animals from Around the World mural, which I painted in East Hartford, in the neighborhood where I grew up. I also had the honor of assisting my good friend Michael Rice on the tallest mural in New England. It's called Reawakening Wonder, and it features a boy holding a jar of fireflies. This project was super special because the boy in the mural is the little brother of one of my best friends. One of my most recent works is a small indoor mural at Trinity College.
In February of 2024, our director of Watkinson Library and Trinity College Libraries, Christina Blyer, proposed having a mural in the library here at Trinity, and I knew that Micaela had been associated with this beautiful firefly mural that's on one of the buildings in Hartford. I thought it would be really nice if it incorporated something of where we are in Connecticut that was really welcoming to our students and that they could see themselves in.
They wanted this mural because that space in the library was pretty dead, and they wanted to bring some life to it and basically make it more attractive for students. Eric and the Watkinson, he deserves a lot of credit. Honestly, it was great to work with somebody with an intellectual and creative mind. He just laid out different ideas like, hey, can we get David Ruggles working on a vintage printing machine with books flying out and opening up into a fantasy world where we can basically weave in all these different novels and pieces of literature together.
David Ruggles was an African-American printer. He was really active in abolitionist activities and in the Underground Railroad. He even helped Frederick Douglass escape to freedom. He's a Connecticut native. He was born in Norwich. There's a scene from The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, the association with Mark Twain's residence here in Hartford. And of course, since I'm at Watkinson, and one of our really precious books is John James Audubon's Birds of America. We have an egret by Riverbank near Huck and Jim. Then at the base of one of the stacks of books is Noah Webster's first American dictionary. Noah Webster, again, another native of this area. Micaela asked if there was anything personal that we wanted to incorporate into the mural. And I thought I'd like to incorporate a little Easter egg for my boss, Christina. So a book that she would read for Banned Books Week was by George Amado called Cacao. And so there's a cacao tree. And then Micaela asked me, for my favorite. I thought that was really very sweet of her. My favorite book is probably Virginia Woolf's To the Lighthouse. And so at the far end of the mural is this little lighthouse along the shore. So it'll be there forever. I come into the building every day by that entrance. It's just this incredibly cheerful thing to see every day. And walking by a mural that has David Ruggles, knowing that that may be the only monument that we have at present in the state to this important printer is really pretty moving. Micaela has given something of real beauty to this campus.
I had to read every single page about every single book that's included in this mural. I'm officially a Trinity student.
Did you really?
No. No chance. Sometimes when I'm out painting, I feel like a squirrel, which sounds ridiculous, but people will come by and want to interact with me in some way, and they'll give me random things. I love it, I really do. It's so cool. I have a box growing of just random things that I've been collecting. I enjoy thinking about my growth as an artist. I think you associate introversion with being like socially awkward or uncomfortable with people, but I really love people. I think I just pay attention to them in a different way. There's so much power in just being quiet, observing, and understanding and listening, and then taking that knowledge and making something of it. I say to any introvert, just own it. That's what I did as an artist. I kind of just like to be myself and that's it. We're all in these brick cement spaces, and art can help people think a little differently, take them out of their typical routine, and they can just kind of appreciate something beautiful, something colorful and vibrant. I feel really blessed to be able to be an artist in this lifetime.